Class 10th, let's continue the chapter number 1, the Union Parliament of Civics. Adjournment motion, or in this motion, the executive can be criticized in Parliament through the adjournment motions, right, which are generally on the serious and urgent matters like police firing on the peaceful procession, or a railway accident, and dacoity, atrocities on the weaker sections of society, and some natural calamities, right, like a devastating flood, flash floods, or and devastating earthquake, right. And the real object of the this motion is to bring to light the inefficiency of the government in handling that particular situation, right. And also it tells about the failure in taking preventive measures and actions of the government, and also to draw attentions to matters of public importance and ask for suitable actions also, right. And so this actually this adjournment motion is of great importance, national importance, and the government may agree to its admission also, right. So in that case, discussions of items listed in this agenda and for the day is suspended, and members devote the time to discussion also on that subject, or of the subject of the adjournment motion. So we have censor motion and no confidence motion. So the parliament exercises control over the Union Council of Ministers. The constitution lays down that the union ministers shall be collectively responsible to the parliament. They remain in office so long as they enjoy the confidence of a majority of members in the Lok Sabha. If they lose this confidence, no confidence motion is passed against them, or if they lose this confidence and a vote of no confidence is passed against them, in that case they have to quit office, right. They have to quit office. That means they have to resign, right. So lack of confidence in the cabinet can also be indicated by rejecting a bill moved by any minister, or by passing a token cut in the salary of a minister, right children. Okay, so it is written here, if no confidence motion is moved by a member or leader of opposition, and if the motion is carried, then the government has to resign. The government means council of ministers, whole the ministers, all they have to resign, right. But what about the censor motion? Censor motion may be moved against a group of ministers or an individual minister, right. So a vote of censure against a particular means one minister, has no such effect, right. So censor motion, that a vote of censure against a particular minister, that will have no such effect. But no confidence motion, what will happen? If no confidence motion is moved against a member, even a single member, one member, or a leader, by the leader of opposition to the minister, right, to the minister, then in that case the government has to resign. But if no confidence motion is moved against any one member of the ruling government, any one minister of the ruling government, then the government has to resign, right? And that no confidence motion is moved by the leader of opposition. And if that motion is carried out, then the government has to resign. So the government means whole the council of ministers, they have to resign. Next, we have electoral functions. The parliament performs certain electoral duties also, elected such as elected members of both houses of parliament and members of legislative assemblies elect the president of India, right? So the we say this type of we can say this type of election as indirect election, right, where UAF has no role, right? Now, second, the vice president is elected by the members of both houses of the parliament. Third, the Speaker is elected by Lok Sabha from among its members by a simple majority of members present and voting, right? So, this comes in the electoral functions of the Union Parliament. So, they elect whom? Yes, the President of India, then Vice President, and speaker also among speaker is also elected by the Lok Sabha from among its members by a simple majority of members present and voting. Now next we have judicial powers. Okay, when we talk about the judicial powers of the parliament or the functions of the parliament, they are, we can say, the parliament means the members of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha has the power to impeach the president. So, impeach means remove, right? Impeach, remove the president, the vice president, and the judges of the Supreme Court and high courts, right? Can also punish its members or outsiders for the breach of privilege or its contempt. Contempt means disrespect of the house, right? Okay, now next we have,
what is a money bill? A money bill is that bill which is having financial bearing. We call it money bill. Now see the procedure of passing money bill. Money bill can introduced in Lok Sabha only. After the approval of the members of Lok Sabha, money bill is transmitted to Rajya Sabha. And Rajya Sabha can hold that money bill for the maximum 14 days, right? So Rajya Sabha members, they have to transmit that money bill within 14 days, right? And after the approval of the members of Rajya Sabha, the money bill is transmitted to the president, and president will give his assent after his approval, and that bill turns to an act. So this is the procedure of passing money bill. Points to be noted in this procedure of passing money bill is that Rajya Sabha has no right to reject the bill, right? Only it can recommend, only it can suggest or recommend, right? But the Lok Sabha may accept or reject all or any recommendations made by the Rajya Sabha members. And see this, the Rajya Sabha must return the money bill to the Lok Sabha within a period of 14 days, right? If the bill is not returned within 14 days of its receipt, it shall be deemed to have been passed by both the houses in the form which it is passed by the Lok Sabha. Whether they pass this or transfer or transmit this bill within 14 days, or if it is not written within 14 days of its receipt, then also it's seemed to be passed to the president. Now next we have ordinary bill. What is an ordinary bill? A bill which is not having financial bearing is called ordinary bill. Right? Now come to the procedure of passing ordinary bill. Both the houses have right to originate the bill, right? But in case of money bill, that money bill only Lok Sabha can introduce money bill. But in case of ordinary bill, both the houses have equal right to produce or to introduced ordinary bill, right? Now see, after the approval of Lok Sabha members on that ordinary bill, it is transmitted to Rajya Sabha. And after the approval of Rajya Sabha members, it is transmitted to the president, and finally president, after the approval of his or her assent or his or her approval, he or she will assent the bill, and that bill will turn to an act. And Rajya Sabha can hold that bill for maximum 30 days, right? Rajya Sabha members can hold that ordinary bill for 30 days. Rajya Sabha can recommend on that bill, can make suggestions on that bill, or can reject also that ordinary bill, right? So this is the simple procedure of passing ordinary bill. If there is no rejection by the Rajya Sabha member or president. Okay, in case of rejection of ordinary bill, a situation arises, and that situation is well known by deadlock. So, situation of deadlock arises between Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. So, to break that deadlock situation or deadlock, both the houses require to pass that bill, right? But the Rajya Sabha members, they have hold the bill for reconsideration. They have returned that bill to Lok Sabha for reconsideration. They have rejected that bill, right? So that is a deadlock situation. So to break that situation, deadlock situation arises between Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. The president calls for the joint sitting, right, of both the houses to break the deadlock, and which is presided over, that joint sitting is presided over by the speaker. So and that situation could be resolved by both the houses in joint sitting, and the matter will be decided by majority vote, right? And that we know the Lok Sabha members, the strength of Lok Sabha is just double than the Rajya Sabha, right? So the will of the Lok Sabha would naturally prevail at the joint sitting. This is how the deadlock breaks, and this is the procedure of passing ordinary bill in case of rejection of.
That's all for today, children. In the next video, we'll come up with new topics, and hopefully we'll start new chapter also. Thank you.